City is known as the financial hub of America and has a major role in the country's economy. Two of the world's largest equity exchanges, New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ, are situated in this city. It is the most visited city in the U.S. In 2019, the city entertained more than 66.6 million tourists, 25% of the state's total visitors. A study by Mastercard revealed that New York City is the seventh most visited city in the world. Tourists love the city because of its diverse culture, magnificent beaches, iconic landmarks, and numerous entertainment options. If you plan to visit this luxurious city, sit tight as we give you the top 10 best places to visit in New York City. Number 10. Grand Central Terminal. Grand Central Terminal, previously referred to as the Grand Central Station, is a well-recognized Beaux Arts landmark in Midtown Manhattan, New York City. Its construction started in 1903 and was opened in 1913 for the public. The project cost approximately $80 million, equivalent to more than $2 billion today. In the early years, it was more than a station. Visitors came to watch a movie in its theater or dine at its cafes or restaurants. It is spread over 48 acres of area and has 44 platforms that entertain more than 750,000 visitors daily. The main highlight of the building is its concourse ceiling, which is 125 feet above the ground level, displaying gold leaf constellations. Number 9. Times Square. Times Square, formerly known as Longacre Square, is a major entertainment hub, tourist destination, and commercial intersection in Midtown Manhattan, New York City. It is one of the busiest pedestrian areas in the world and is also a famous tourist attraction in the town, drawing more than 50 million visitors annually. The Madame Tussauds Wax Museum is one of the world's greatest wax museums. Located in the heart of Times Square, presently, the museum displays more than 220 wax figures of famous personalities. Times Square can be visited any time of the day, but for an ultimate memorable experience, the evening time is recommended when the huge screens and billboards are brilliantly lit. It is also famous for its midnight New Year's Eve celebration and the notable ball drop when the square and streets nearby are packed with people. Number 8. American Museum of Natural History. The American Museum of Natural History might look familiar at a glance because many famous movies have been filmed here. Some of the prestigious names include Jurassic Park and Night at the Museum. The 8 permanent exhibition halls display all the interesting things from science to the environment and from dinosaur fossils to Egyptian mummies. The museum was opened to the public in 1869. Today, it holds more than 30 million specimens and cultural artifacts in an area of 2 million square feet, and it welcomes approximately 5 million visitors each year. One of the most prominent things of the museum is Butterfly Conservatory, a human and warm climate control building in which more than 500 fluttering butterflies welcome its visitors by giving them space in their homes. Number 7. High Line. The High Line is a beautiful new attraction that has been added in New York City. It was a former rail line that was converted into an urban walking trail in 2009. It is a linear elevated park which is 1.45 miles long, surrounded by various species of trees and plants, and gives an outstanding 360-degree view of the city. More than 8 million visitors come to this park each year to mesmerize themselves with the American contemporary landscape architecture. The best time to visit the High Line is in the spring evening when the plants and trees bloom to give you a natural feel along with the magnificent view of the city. Number 6. Empire State Building. This 102-story building is one of Midtown Manhattan's most famous landmarks and a main tourist attraction. This 381-meter tall building was constructed in 1931 with a cost of $40.95 million, equivalent to more than $500 million today. It was the first 100-plus-story building of its time, completed in 1 year and 45 days. This architectural marvel entertains more than 4 million visitors each year. The building has 2 observational floors, giving an astonishing view of the city and its neighboring states. The first observatory on the 86th floor has an open-air observation deck. This part of the building might look familiar as it has been featured in numerous movies and TV shows. The second observatory is on the top deck on the 102nd floor, 1,250 feet above street level, and gives a panoramic view of the surrounding area. Number 5. Broadway and the Theater District. Broadway, usually referred to as Broadway Theater District, comprises many theater venues. Some of the most recognizable Broadway Theater, New Amsterdam Theater, Palace Theater, and Winter Garden Theater. Annually, more than 13 million viewers book their attendance in these theaters. Watching long-running classics and the latest shows in these theaters is one of the must things to make sure of. After the show, have a walk on Schubert Alley, a pedestrian-only alley home to two well-known playhouses, the Booth and the Schubert. Number 4. Metropolitan Museum of Art. The Metropolitan Museum of Art, shortly known as Met, was opened in 1870. Today, the museum has a collection of more than 2 million works of art showing 5,000 years of human culture. Some of the museum's most recognized collections include Jacques-Louis David's The Death of Socrates and Elizabeth Louise Vigée Lebrun's Julie Lebrun, Looking in a Mirror, etc. The museum has 3 sites, but the Met Fifth Avenue has the most brilliant collection, including Egyptian art, American decorative arts, photographs, and much more. The Met Cloisters is another branch of the Metropolitan Museum of Art in northern Manhattan, which focuses more on the architecture of Europe and medieval art and is a place worth visiting. Number 3. Rockefeller Center. Rockefeller Center is also one of the most recognized attractions in New York City. The 70-story skyscraper was built between 1930 and 1939. The complex comprises 19 commercial buildings that cover an area of 22 acres. On its base, it has an outdoor skating rink surrounded by 100 international flags and offers fun activities to couples and families. This entertainment and shopping complex has more than 100 shops and 16 restaurants. Moreover, it is famous for its annual lighting and Christmas tree illumination. The tour's highlight is the visit to its 3 indoor and outdoor observatory decks on the 67, 69, and 70 floors, which offer an amazing view of Manhattan day and night. Number 2. Central Park. Central Park is the 5th largest park in the city with an area of 843 acres. Moreover, it welcomes more than 42 million visitors annually, making it the most visited metropolitan park in the U.S. Calvert Vaux and Frederick Law Olmsted designed the urban park, and its foundation was built in 1858. Today, this UNESCO World Heritage Site has over 10,000 benches, 7 water fountains, 29 sculptures. Multiple things can be done in this magnificent park. It is a great place to experience nature in the calmness of a metropolitan. The park also offers other attractions and fun activities, such as a visit to Strawberry Fields, Belvedere Castle, and the Central Park Zoo. You can also take a gondola ride or rent a boat to tour Central Park Lake. Number 1. Statue of Liberty. The Statue of Liberty has always been considered a symbol of democracy and freedom. This America's iconic site is a gift from France that was built in 1886. The sculpture's height is 93 meters and weighs up to 450,000 pounds, making it one of the world's largest statues. Visitors must undergo an airport-style security screening before entering the ship to visit this monument. Another team of security staff search the victors before entering the monument. Even with such an exhausting security screening, more than 3.5 million people visit the statue yearly. The main climax of the trip will be climbing the crown. There are no elevator services that can lead to the crown, and for an ultimate experience, you must take the stairs. But in the end, the effort is worth it. So that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have visited any of these places, tell us about your experience in the comment section.